What if I told you that one of football's greatest clutch players, a man destined to score in World Cup and Champions League finals, was once bought for just 35 footballs? This is the unbelievable story of the boy they called the Noodle, who fought his way from a dusty coal yard to the absolute pinnacle of the beautiful game. Stick with us on Legends of Football League and make sure you subscribe so you never miss an epic tale like this one. The young Ángel was born a whirlwind, an unusually hyperactive child whose energy seemed to have no off switch. Worried his parents, Miguel and Diana, took him to see a doctor in their hometown of Rosario. That day, a simple piece of medical advice would unknowingly set the course for a footballing legend. "Have him play a sport," the doctor said almost casually. "Football is a good option. Let him run." And run he did. The young Ángel, with a rail-thin, almost impossibly lanky frame that quickly earned him the nickname El Fideo, the Noodle from his friends, found a home with a ball at his feet. But football wasn't just a game. It was an escape. An escape from the gritty reality of his family's life. The Di Marias lived in a small, humble house where the backyard wasn't a yard at all. It was a coal yard. Every single day after the final whistle of schoolyard games and club practice, Ángel and his two younger sisters would get to work. Their job helping their father Miguel shovel bag and deliver heavy sacks of coal to customers around the city. Imagine it. The small, tender hands of a 5, then 7, then 9-year-old boy becoming rough and calloused, not from play, but from labor. Coal dust was a constant companion. It stained his clothes a permanent gray, got lodged deep under his fingernails, and even seemed to seep into his breath. But this back-breaking work, this real-world furnace, forged something unbreakable inside that slender body, a will of pure steel. Ángel understood with a maturity far beyond his years the true value of hard work. He saw every single peso his parents scraped together, the sacrifices they made to buy him his very first pair of football boots. In his heart, he made a silent, solemn promise. One day, football would be the way out. His legs weren't just for running on a pitch. They were for racing against a destiny of poverty. The Noodle's talent, raw and untamed, blossomed on the dusty pitches of his local club. As a teenager, his searing pace and magic left foot caught the attention of Rosario Central, one of the city's two giants. The negotiation to sign him, however, was anything but ordinary. To acquire the prodigious young winger, Rosario Central had to pay his old club 35 brand-new footballs. It remains one of the most bizarre transfer fees in the history of the sport. But looking back, it was perhaps one of the most profitable investments ever made. At Rosario Central, Ángel Di María began his professional odyssey. Down that left wing, he was a blur of motion, a nightmare for defenders. His dribbling was tricky, his crosses swerved and curled with a deceptive grace. And that left foot was pure magic. It didn't take long for him to become one of the most electrifying young talents in all of Argentina. And when you shine that brightly, Europe always comes calling. In 2007, Benfica, the famed Portuguese talent factory, saw the future. They brought him across the Atlantic for a fee of €8 million. This was the seismic shift in his life. For the first time, the boy from Rosario was truly alone, a new continent, a new language, and a brutal, far more demanding level of football. The early days were a struggle. The loneliness was heavy, but the fire that was forged in that Rosario coal yard, the memory of his father's tired face and his mother's hopeful smile simply would not let him fail. Gradually then, all at once, Di María conquered Portugal. He became a true angel in Benfica's iconic red shirt, a creative force of nature lifting the national championship and other titles with the club. His brilliant, dazzling performances, especially on the world stage at the 2010 World Cup, made it impossible for the giants of Europe to ignore him any longer. A new chapter was about to begin. In the summer of 2010, Real Madrid, under the famously demanding José Mourinho, came calling. Di María stepped into the blinding spotlight of the new Galacticos era, sharing a locker room with titans like Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, and Mesut Ozil. The pressure at the Santiago Bernabéu is a different beast. It's suffocating. Every misplaced pass is dissected by millions, every quiet game a potential ticket to the bench. But Di María didn't just survive in that cauldron. He thrived. He wasn't the headline goal scorer like Ronaldo, but he became the team's relentless, perpetual engine. His breathtaking speed, his incredible diligence, his sheer refusal to give up on any ball. These were his superpowers. He ran tirelessly, chasing back to defend like a seasoned fullback one moment, then bursting forward to create a chance out of absolutely nothing the next. He was the team's heartbeat. The absolute zenith of Di Maria's time in Madrid came in the 2013 to 2014 season under the calm, brilliant Carlo Ancelotti. The Italian manager had a stroke of genius, moving Ángel from the wing into a more central left-sided midfield role. In this new position, he exploded. He became the undisputed heart of Real's play, the driving force behind their quest for the ultimate prize. The 2014 Champions League final in Lisbon. The opponent's bitter city rivals, Atletico Madrid. This was his stage. In a tense, brutal match where Real were trailing and their dream was slipping away. It was Di María who took control. Deep into extra time, legs burning, lungs screaming, he produced a run for the ages. He picked up the ball, danced, weaved, and slalomed past multiple Atletico defenders before unleashing a fierce shot. The goalkeeper, Thibaut Courtois, made a desperate save, but the ball looped up perfectly for Gareth Bale to head home, making it 2-1. It was the goal that broke Atletico's spirit and opened the floodgates to La Décima, the 10th European crown that Madrid had obsessively craved for 12 long years. Di María was named Man of the Match. He was the hero, the architect of their greatest triumph. And then just a few months later, in a stunning and controversial move, club president Florentino Perez sold him to Manchester United to make way for the World Cup's new shiny toy, James Rodriguez. It was a cold, brutal shock. Di María felt utterly betrayed. He had poured his heart and soul onto that pitch, delivered their most coveted trophy. And yet he was treated as a disposable part. It's one of the cruelest parts of the beautiful game, isn't it? A player gives everything, becomes a hero, and is then sold for business reasons. How do you think he should have felt? Let me know in the comments below what you would do in that situation. Is it just business or a complete betrayal? Moving to Manchester United for what was then a British record transfer fee. Di María was handed the legendary hallowed number 7 shirt, the shirt of best Cantona and Ronaldo. But instead of becoming the next icon, the theater of dreams quickly turned into the stage for a personal nightmare. He didn't start badly, but nagging injuries and the chaotic instability of the team under Louis van Gaal saw his form plummet. The Dutch manager's rigid mechanical philosophy was poison to a free-spirited, instinctive artist like Di María. It stifled his creativity, chained his flair. The tragedy reached its absolute peak when his family home was broken into by burglars. His family was terrified. His wife and young daughter were traumatized. Football became meaningless. His focus shattered. He just wanted to leave England to escape the nightmare. After only one gut-wrenching season, the Noodle fled to Paris Saint-Germain. Many critics in the football world wrote him off. They said he was finished at the top level, that the pressure had broken him. They were so wrong. In the vibrant city of Paris, alongside a new constellation of stars like Neymar Mbappé and Cavani Ángel Di María, found himself again. He was given freedom. He was given trust. He was given the license to just be him. He was no longer the main man, the central focus, but his role was incredibly important. His magical left foot once again began to paint those beautiful arcing masterpieces on the pitch, providing a torrent of assists for his teammates. He became the all-time leading assist provider in PSG's entire history, cementing his place as a true club legend. He stacked up domestic titles, and most importantly, he rediscovered his smile and the pure, unadulterated joy of playing football. Paris was the city that healed his wounded heart. His journey of resilience is what makes these stories so powerful. Here at Legends of Football League, we live for these tales of comebacks and redemption. If you do too, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we have so many more stories of legends who refuse to be broken. Parallel to his roller coaster club career was an even more dramatic, often tragic story with the Argentine national team. Di María belonged to the golden generation, a breathtakingly talented group alongside Lionel Messi, Sergio Aguero, and Gonzalo Higuaín. They were brilliant, but they were also unbelievably unlucky. From a young age, Di María had a knack for the big moments. He was the hero in the 2008 Beijing Olympics, scoring the sublime golden goal in the final to win the gold medal for the U23 team. But at the senior level, fate seemed to take a cruel, sadistic pleasure in mocking him. At the 2014 World Cup, he was in the form of his life, scoring the dramatic, decisive goal in the round of 16 against Switzerland. But then disaster. A thigh injury in the quarter-final. It robbed him of the semi-final, and most painfully of all, the final itself. He could only watch from the stands, helpless and heartbroken, as his teammates fell in extra time to Germany. To this day, Argentinians wonder, what if Di María had been on that pitch? The pain just kept coming. He was injured again, forced to limp off the field. Early in the 2015 Copa America final, he was absent entirely from the 2016 Copa America Centenario final. His crystal legs, as the critics cruelly dubbed them, seemed to always betray him at the most critical moments imaginable. He was surrounded by tears, by criticism, by utter despair. But the boy forged in the Rosario coal yard never, ever gave up. He was always there, answering the call, fighting for the shirt, giving his absolute all whenever his nation needed him. And then finally, fate decided it was time to pay its debt. The 2021 Copa America final. The setting, the Maracana Stadium in Rio de Janeiro, the hallowed ground of their fiercest rivals, Brazil. It was Ángel Di María who timed his run to perfection, latched onto a long pass, and with the coolest head in the stadium, executed a delicate, impudent chip over the onrushing goalkeeper, Ederson. It was the only goal of the match. That single moment of genius not only brought Argentina its first major title in 28 long, agonizing years, but it was a cathartic release for an entire generation of players, and most of all, for him. He had finally settled his account with destiny. The angel cried on the pitch that night, but this time they were tears of pure, unadulterated joy. That moment of redemption is one of the most powerful in modern football. If this story of perseverance inspires you, please consider sharing this video with a friend who loves the human side of the beautiful game. And let me know in the comments, are there any other players whose stories of heartbreak and eventual triumph you'd like to see us cover next? While the Copa America title felt like the perfect storybook ending to his international career, Di María had one last impossible dream, the World Cup. In Qatar 2022, now at the age of 34, he knew he no longer had the stamina to play every minute of every game, but his coach Lionel Scaloni was a master strategist. He knew exactly when to unleash his secret weapon, his angel, for the final. The final. The opponent, the formidable reigning champions, France. In a move that shocked everyone, Scaloni named Di Maria in the starting lineup. And once again, the angel of the finals delivered on the biggest stage of them all. First, a trademark Messi run into the box, twisting and turning, forcing Ousmane Dembélé into a clumsy foul. Penalty. Messi stepped up and calmly slotted it home. 1-0. And then it happened. A sweeping, breathtaking textbook Argentine counterattack. A blur of blue and white. The final pass from McAllister was perfect, and who was there arriving like a ghost at the far post? Ángel Di María. He met the ball with a cool, clinical left-footed finish into the bottom corner. 2-0. In that single glorious moment, the world stood still. Di Maria wheeled away towards the corner flag, his face a mask of pure ecstasy. His eyes welling up with tears, his heart threatening to burst from his chest. This was it. A goal in a World Cup final. The thing he had dreamed of every single day since he was a little boy, bagging coal in Rosario. Although the match would later descend into a nail-biting chaotic thriller, his goal remained an indelible mark of Argentine artistry. When the final whistle finally blew after that epic encounter, Argentina were champions of the world. Di Maria collapsed onto the turf, sobbing like a child. All the pain, all the heartbreak, all the sacrifice, it was all worth it. He had come full circle through glory and bitterness. He had scored in an Olympic final, a Copa America final, and now a World Cup final. An unprecedented, unbelievable achievement. After conquering literally everything there was to conquer, Di Maria enjoyed a short season at Juventus before making a poetic return to his first European home, Benfica, closing the circle on his magnificent career on the continent. The life and career of Ángel Di María is a powerful, resounding testament that raw talent is never enough. It takes a heart forged in fire and unyielding will to win, and an immense, unshakable belief in yourself, to overcome every obstacle fate throws in your path. From the skinny, unassuming Noodle in the coal yard, he became Argentina's guardian. Angel, a one-of-a-kind legend in the pantheon of footballing greats. He may have had legs of crystal at times, but the legacy he leaves behind is forged in solid gold and diamonds, eternal, unbreakable, and unforgettable. And that's where this incredible football story concludes. What a journey, right? I'm so eager to hear your thoughts. What moment from his career stood out to you the most? Did his struggle and ultimate redemption resonate with you? Please share all your opinions, your favorite moments, and any questions you still have in the comments below. I truly love reading every single one and building this amazing football community with all of you.